Bepro's primary indicator right now is Bitcoin. Therefore, at the end of this video, I'll link you to my Bitcoin analysis. If you haven't seen it, it's very important to watch. But in this video, we're going to cover a shorter term time frame price action for Bepro, more immediate, late March through maybe the first couple of days of April to see how it's playing with its monthly 10 EMA. It'll be cool to watch. Let's dive in. Bitcoin acting as the primary indicator, just real quick before we get to Bepro, this will take literally 10 seconds, is does this $47,000 line right here, 47,500, act as resistance, and then Bitcoin needs to test 46K first before making a higher high, or is it going to bust right through that? That's the question, and that's going to greatly affect the price path that Bepro is getting ready to take. Again, that'll be in my Bitcoin analysis that I'll link you to at the end of this video. Let's jump over to Bepro right here, and then I will go to the 1 hour chart, and I will use the indicator called MTF EMA, so I can have the weekly 10, which is red, weekly 10 exponential moving average with the monthly 10. Bepro is doing par for the course. Its monthly 10 has crossed below in a bad way, like long term, the monthly 10 EMA, just like most of crypto. Polkadot's done this everything. Most of crypto's price is between the red and the white, with red being on bottom. There are very few exceptions. For example, I think maybe Atom and Luna, this cross, the red is above the white, therefore it's structured a little bit different. But Bepro is pretty much par for the course. I mean, anything doing this is going to move very similarly throughout the next few days. There are a few price paths that it'll take, and let's dive into it. So if Bitcoin does indeed pull back to 46K, then Bepro will from a percentage basis, Bepro might on a wick try to test its weekly 10 EMA, but I don't think it would drop necessarily 21% to hit that. But I think it would get close. I think Bepro would perhaps make an equal low somewhere in this structure. So the price that is above the weekly 10, I think it could maybe even make a higher low. That is possible as well, but it might actually make an equal low and then want to take off, assuming Bitcoin, per the analysis, Bitcoin has one more higher high to put in, could do something to that effect. If Bitcoin can get back above that line that I showed you at the beginning, then Bepro will very, very likely keep a higher low structure and then visit the monthly 10 EMA by most likely getting on top of it. But that's the second type of price paths I want to show you. How will the two ways that Bepro price will get to the monthly 10, which is coming in at 0.0063 roughly, how it will get up to it, there are roughly two options, and how price will interact with it, there are roughly two options. So therefore, the two options to get up to it is you make a low somewhere down here with maybe a wick low to the weekly 10 as Bitcoin maybe spills, like it takes a 1 hour, a strong 5 minute red candle. Bepro could wick down as low as 0.004 really, but I wouldn't expect that to be much more in a wick. I would expect if Bitcoin visits 46, Bepro maybe hits at 0.0042, 425, something to that effect, and then works its way up to here. If Bitcoin does not go to 46K, it's going to make a higher low structure, then hit this line. Those are the two ways it gets to the line. The two ways that Bepro will behave once it gets to the line is it could pass it and use it as support, or it could use it as resistance in general. And when I say that, that means it touches it and spills down, so it means two things. To use as resistance, because if it fails it, if it goes above it a little bit, then specifically goes below it and doesn't use it as support, that's also a form of resistance. It's just called failing instead of rejection, but it's still resistance. I want to be very clear with what I'm saying there about that. Imagine this white line is extended, and I'm on a very short time frame. That is the monthly 10 EMA, all right? This would be a failure, although this white line is still resistance, and this would be a straight up rejection. So these are essentially three ways, but the two ways is it uses as support or it uses it as resistance. That's pretty much it. And even if it uses that as resistance and it comes down to this point here, it's all going to depend on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin takes another leg up around that time, then so will Bepro. If Bitcoin's ready to relax, then Bepro will probably then come back down to its weekly 10. But I'm not going to postulate too much beyond the first week of April. I want to mostly focus how does Bepro get to this monthly 10 and what does it do when it gets there, and these are your 5 options if you like what you saw, but you need to know at the same time what the analysis is for Bitcoin. So if you like what you saw, click this video right here. Watch this Bitcoin analysis. It's more important, really, than anything else on Bepro's price chart. And if you want to learn how to set up a chart just like mine because you're new to crypto, click this link or this video right here, and you just got simplified worldwide. Peace.